Hey everyone, today is day 13 of Tapping for Recovery from Fear, and it's Friday the 13th. And I don't know about any of you, but I actually always have really good days on Friday the 13th. So anybody that's suspicious, you may want to tap on that. I thought I might do tapping on that, but Tana, I wanted to come to yours, this fear of not knowing what I want. And then if I find out what I want, I'm going to have to be accountable to this. And I can so relate to this. I sabotaged myself more times than I can think of when I was in corporate America. I would get these promotions and I would often do something to sabotage them because I just was not, I just didn't have the capacity for it. What I was really afraid of is that being accountable. Like, what if I fail? It was really fear of failure. That's actually the truth. I was afraid that I couldn't live up to their expectations. I used to marvel at people that would go into job interviews and expound on having abilities to do things that they didn't, and I'm like, how the hell do you do that? They're like, well, I'll figure it out when I get there. So they had this utter confidence that they didn't care, that they knew they'd figure it out. And the thing that I've read up about early trauma, and that is for many of us, when that trauma is still in our body, and it can be trauma with a little t, trauma with a big T, the ability to think clearly, to be able just to function, can be really challenging. And again, this doesn't mean you had to have this hugely traumatic past. It can just be, and not that this is any less important, this slow chipping away of your self-esteem. So when you get your self-esteem slowly chipped away at, what happens is your ability to believe that, hey, I can figure this out. I'll do what I need to do with this. I've got this. Like, it doesn't matter. No matter what they throw at me, somehow, some way, I'll figure it out. When you weren't, sorry, I'm going to move that because of that light. When you weren't taught that, the fear just becomes epic for, oh my God, like, what if I fail? And then failure to me often takes on this life or death quality. Like, it's just so frightening to us that we'll avoid it at all costs. So, Tana, I want to commend you for the awareness of, God, if I actually do figure out what I want, I'm afraid I'll have to be accountable. So that's what I would say. Let's just tap on fear, let's say call it fear of failure, because that's what I think is really wrapped under all this. And then when you eliminate that, you will be able to move forward without you might have the fear, but it's not going to incapacitate you. And one other quick story, when I started the EFT radio show, I was on the phone with the producer and we were working on putting my show together and stuff, and I had this moment of fear that just overtook me, like, what the hell am I doing? Oh my God, like, I can't do this. And then all of a sudden, because I'd been tapping for a while, I noticed it, I paid attention, I was like, okay, just put that on the shelf and you can tap on that later, and I did. And now it's to the point I have a radio show that's going to air next Friday, a week from today, with a gal, awesome, Annie Sorrell, who is we just had a great conversation about doing business differently and getting rid of the hard work piece. So if you can listen into that on EFT Radio online next Friday at 11 Pacific. So it's just a conversation we have. And I have a Bob, I don't say her name right. I've known Annie a long time, and I called her Annie Sorrell, and it's Sorrell. And then I was like, oh, I'll edit that out. And then I had an edit where I had a brain fart, and I was like, I said, oh, I'm going to edit that out. And then I thought, or not. And Annie and I laughed, and I listened to the recording, and I left all the bobbles in. I was like, I left the humanity in, and I put unedited. So I thought, I want that out there. I don't want people to feel like they have to do it perfectly. And that's huge. So when you get rid of the fear of failure, Tana, I think you will naturally, whatever you're supposed to do will come to you. I think it's the trying to figure it out that creates us problems. So, karate chop. Even though I have this fear of failure, what if I don't live up to this? What if I fail? That would be devastating. But would it? Oh yeah, it would. I choose to acknowledge I feel this way. Even though I'm afraid to fail. Because I'll have to be accountable. And what if I can't live up to this? I'll feel like such a failure. I choose to accept my feelings now. Even though I'm afraid of failure. Really afraid. No wonder I can't figure out what I want. Because if I've got to be accountable and I can't do it, that'll suck. I accept myself and my feelings now. I don't want to fail. Failure is devastating. That feels like life or death to me. Failure. Failing. Something is so intense about that. And I learned to see failure this way a long time ago. When it was made clear to me, mistakes aren't okay. Instead of, mistakes are how you learn. You should always make new mistakes. Because then you know you're on the playing field. And you're definitely going to learn. But I didn't learn to make mistakes okay. I didn't learn to make failure something you could learn from either. I mean, failure's failure. But what if it doesn't have to stay that way? What if it's possible I could start to learn that mistakes are okay? Because it is exactly how we learn. And I know I'm not even close to believing this yet. But that's okay too. Because I'll learn to see this differently as well. Over time. As I start to unhook from all this fear of failure. As I start to learn to accept my mistakes. Because if I really look at it, I've learned from every mistake I've made. Especially if I remove the beating. And what if that's the primary thing here? Oh my God, I'm back to this again. Releasing self-judgment. I make mistakes. What if that can be a so what? I have failed. So what? I've learned. And if I really pay attention to successful people in the worldly way, blah, blah, there's a mistake. I see success. I've learned to see success. What if it's possible? They all made mistakes. And they all failed too. Because they did. And what if I can learn to see failure as a stepping stone to getting more of what I want in my life? because I just keep course correcting. One day at a time. So this can be, sorry, somebody keeps calling me and I'll call them back. This keeps, this is a thing you might have to go back and tap on, obviously multiple times, but it's learning to make it okay to fail. And you could argue to have that. It's not okay to fail. Yes, it is. It's not okay to fail. Yes, it is. It's not okay to fail. Yes, it is. And try that. So anyway, happy Friday the 13th. Have a great rest of your day. We're in Arizona on our way to California, and see you tomorrow. Bye for now.